Okay, Be'ez Hashem Perek Zayin B'Siyata Dishmaya. So we previously learned that there is a major nafkamina between the speech and the breath of the Rabbeinu Shalom Kaviyachol, and our neshama is rooted in the divine breath specifically, which, as we said, the speech comes from the, so to speak, the outside, the breath comes from within, and our neshama was given from Kaviyachol, the inside, which means much more a deeper connection. And we're also still going with the same idea of the Yud Kei Vav Kei, the two Heys, and the different types of Teshuva that we're going to learn about as well here in Perek Zayin. V'ulam, derech ha'emes v'yoshel l'b'chinas Teshuva tato Hey, tato anal. Let's try to understand the derech ha'emes of going to do Teshuva with Teshuva tato. Heim base dvorim derech klal. This emes v'yosha and this real serious Teshuva that we're dealing with is two different inyanim. Ha'alev hu la'oire rachamim ha'elyonim mimikor ha'rachamim al nishmosoi v'nafsha lekis shenofla mi'igra roma chayim baruch hu lebeira amikta heim hayachoilis hatuma vasitra acha. That means the first thing a person has to recognize is that what he has done when he does an avera is he causes the neshama to fall from a very high kedusha take a place, like from a high roof, all the way down into a deep pit. And that's what he's doing when he does an avera. V'al mekoyre b'mekor ha'chaim hu shem havaya baruch hu, k'mo shekosav v'yoshev al havaya v'rachmeu, perish, la'oyre rachamim al hashbos shem havaya baruch hu, shenishtal shala, v'yorda toich hayachoyles ha'sitra achot mem, nach Yosef Maladei, Maise Enash v'Zach B'Loisav, or Machshavoisav V'Rois, K'moshakos Melech Osoratim, V'Hitei Moicha V'Chulei, He B'Chines Golos Hashkena Canal. I seem to remember, although I might have the details wrong, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a Maise with the Heilige Vizioner. One time when the Heilige Vizioner when they took him, and he was in prison, and the Chassidim, they came in to bring him whatever it was that they were allowed to do, and they found the Rebbe crying. And they asked him, like, what's pshat? And if I'm not mistaken, it was the Rishonah, I think so. And he said, the tsar that I had, that I've caused the Shekhinah to come down to a place that disgusting. There were rats everywhere. It was a disgusting place. Pashut felt it was a disgusting thing. And Memela, the Shekhinah is coming with me because I'm on the Neshama, and the Neshama has the Shekhinah together with it. Memela, that's what's happening. And that's what the Balatanya is telling us. He's telling us that when a person does an Aveira, he doesn't realize he's Kaviyachol sending the Shekhinah to Golus. He's putting the Shekhinah in a bad situation. You caused Golus to the Shekhinah. That's what you're doing every time you have an Aveira. Mimela, you have to think about that. And when you think about it, you start to think, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe that was the bad thing to do. Wasn't coveting to Rabbeinu Shalom. Uzman hamasugul hazeh. When is the best time that a person should think about this? Of course, the easiest time of day. Hu b'tikkun chatzois, k'moish nizbar b'sidar ayin shom ba'arichos v'zeh sh'oim shom nofla teres roshenu oy no lonu ki chatonu. That's by the way a pasuk in Tikkun Chatzos. That's clearly that we basically have to realize that nofla teres roshenu, the, so to speak, the crown of our heads has fallen, and it's because we have sinned. Which means that when a person does an avera, he needs to contemplate what happens to the Shekhinah b'shas the avera is he's kaviyachol causing the Shekhinah to go into Golus. V'lachein Nikra Kadosh Baruch Hu Melech Olav. That's why it's almost called that the Rabbeinu Shalom is called the king that's humiliated. There's no humiliation to the Shekhinah Kaviyachol more than this. Or perhaps, especially Kashay Yispoin in a maskil, if a person really thinks, if you've got a bit of a brain, a bit of intellect, think for a little bit. Begedulas ein soif baruch hu, the godless of the Rabbeinu Shalom, mimala kol omin, that fills the whole world. V'soivev kol omin kol echol v'echol avi shei sichla v'nosoi yismarmer al zeh ma'oid ma'oid. When you become aware of what your actions do, that when you do something, what's happening as a result of that, then it gives a person, or it should give a person, a tremendous pain when he realizes what he's caused. So that's number one. That's number one. Contemplate and realize. It's a chachma bina v'das. Think with your intellect about the Gadlas Hashem. Think about what you do and what you're causing when you do an avera which causes the Shekhinah to go into Golus. Number two. The second way, and of course this is assuring that our tshuva is done in a honest and sincere manner, is levatish ulachnia haklipa v'sitra achra, to crush, smash down, subdue the Yetzer Hara, the sitra achra. Asher kol chayusa hirak mechenes gases v'agbo. The whole metzias, the whole energy, the life source of the Sitra Achra is gases, is balkaiva, it's haughtiness. In takbir kenesha v'chulei. V'habitush v'achno ad ofa mamish. If you do that, zoyu misaso v'tulu. That's how you mavatal. If you want to learn how to mavatal your Sitra Achra, that's what you need to do. You crush it, you subdue it. V'hainu alidei leiv nishba. How do you do it lemaisa? To a broken heart. The nidkaliyah is Nivze be'ein of nimas v'chorei. K'mosh kosev b'zoya kodesh, like straight in Zoya. Al posuk zivche le'kim ruach nishbar v'leiv nishbar v'nitka. Ki kol korban min ha'behema hu l'shem havai hi midas harachamim. Aval l'shem le'kim hi midas hadin. Eimar krivin korban behema kim neshaba lahave ruach hatom v'sitracha. The reason why you're makriv a korban behema specifically is to break and remove the ruach of tumah from the sitracha v'zeru ruach nishbara. The way to break the sitra achra and the ruach that's not good is when you break the heart. When you have to realize what you've done and crush, so to speak, all of those taivas that are coming out of there. Because how do you do it practically? Lemaisa, very nice, but what do I do? Ma'at mize'eru alidei sipugim v'tanyos b'dereseinu. It's not really negay in our generation to do it through fasting, right? In other words, it sounds like that really that's the way you should do it, and that's the way they did it in the past. But he says, and again, the Tanya's days already, ma'at, it's basically minimal. Those people that are able to put themselves through suffering and fasting in our generations, that's his already generation, that means culture gain for culture gain for culture gain hours. What, you think we're able to go and fast like David HaMelech did? Like the Chazal tell us on a posuk in Tehillim, v'libi cholol bekirbi sharoge betainis. David HaMelech killed his Yetzer Hara through fasting. That's what he did. He had a Yetzer Hara, but he killed it through fasting. We're not able to do that. Ach ika hachnoas halev lies nishba v'nitka v'arvaras ruach hatuma v'sitrach hu liyos memori de chushbona ba'oime kadas. Basically, become an expert accountant. Be a good accountant. Take account and cheshbon of where you're holding what you have done. Lahamik daitoi v'nosai. Not just your das, also your bina. That's the understanding. It's a deeper level. Shah achas b'chol yoim. Okay, every day, 1 hour. Oy laila, or at night. Lifnei tikkun chatzos. Versteht sich before you tikkun chatzos. Lisboinen b'mashapoel. Think about what you did. The asa b'chator b'chinas golus hashkena kanal. The Garim Laku Nishmos of an Nafsh of the Kiss Achayim Baruch Hu, and you basically cause the Nefesh of the Kiss to leave. V'hayvid lemokim atuma v'mova saying haim hayicholes asitra ach v'nasa b'chinas mekova alein mekabel b'hem sheva v'chinas hashbos guva kanal v'zeru shom b'seinu zal. This is B'shat the Gemara in Brachos. Rishoyim b'chayim kurim beisim. Rishoyim, when they are alive, they're really called dead. What does that mean? Why are they called dead when they're alive? Kloima. Where's the chayim coming from? Where's the life source coming from? A place of death. So that's pshat and chazal the Tanya. Rishoyim b'chayim kurim meisim. Okay, Va'af, we'll skip the brackets. Va'af, even if you did not do an Aveira, that would get you Kores, or even an Aveira that's punishment, like interesting again and again and again and again and again, the Balatanya with the same example. Okay, Governor, but the Shaveris Kalos, you did quote unquote the weaker Averis. Even so, since at the end of the day they are poigem, they cause a blemish, a spiritual blemish on the neshama nefesh alikis. Ugmshal begimas upsikas. We had previously the moshel about the rope that was, spun with 613 different strands, and every time you do an avera, one of those strands of the 613 breaks, and eventually, boom, 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 the whole thing's going to snap. So that's what's happening over here. You're causing the rope to get weaker and weaker. Hare, with the more you averas you do, the more averas you do of the quote unquote lighter ones is equal to one one pagam of you did, that's Chaim Kare Somisa. Even if you do the same there again and again and again and again. Just like the Novi was Madama, when you do an Aveira, it's like putting it's like a cloud on the sun. When the cloud covers the sun, you don't see the strength, the illumination of the sun. These are the very serious, stringent Averas and Mavdilim, Pain Pneumios, Hashpah Shem Havaya Baruch Hu, and never shall a kiss Kavdolos Onon of V'chosh Gamav Ben Hashemesh La'oretz V'Adom Alei Al Marshal. So too, when you do Averas, it clouds up the connection between you and the Avodah Shalom. These are the small averas that people sort of like smash with their heels. Basically, they just like disregard it. Like, that's not an important one. Let's finish on the parak. Just like in this mashal, in Mesim Odom Neged Ora Shemesh Bachalon Machitzas Kalos or Klushois Leroiv Moi. Let's say a person has a window and the sun always beats in. It's annoying. The sun comes in, he has to squint the whole time. So he buys himself like a really thin net, but one is not enough. So he buys two, then he buys three, then he buys four, and he puts like a whole bunch of nets over there, right? Those thin small ones are like one big thick one. The kocha mamash ubenimshol. So too is bayas. All the averas that you're like, big deal, nobody cares. Or mikol shekain hamu v'samos with the public and the famous ones. Shei mamash kavod zoro Igeres shvikas domik kumaya lamas ayim and a stocker, right? Looking away when the guy comes into shul and he's collecting money, or walking down the street and the mashonach is there asking money. You're like, I didn't see. I'm on my phone, right? Kamash kosim first pasuk. Hishav peniyah dovaim levavcha b'lial, right? Over the al who ovid avodas elilim. Shem Yerachim, a person like avodas zoro. The Gemara says that. V'amasapa begnus chaveiroi. You speak about the derogatory, negative things of your friend. He loshon hore hashkula kavodah zoro. It's equal to avodah zoro of Igeres shvichos domim. Like culture again, you do those things. You're putting up a mechitza, and then you wonder why you have no connection when it comes to davening, and then you wonder why you have no geshmak in learning. What do you expect? You put up a billion mechitzas. Oh, I can't see the sun. Well, duh. You put up a huge curtain there. What do you expect? That's what happens every time you do Avera again and again and again and again and again and again. You got to think of these things. That's what Baal is bringing to your attention. You get angry. Oh, this guy took my seat. This guy took my schnitzel. Whatever it is, you get angry. No b'tocha, no amun Hashem. Many examples in Chazal. The Talmud Torah connected kulam. Just remember that. Ends off. Talmud Torah connected kulam. You mess up with learning, forget about it. Right? You bittul Torah, it's connected everything. They were shami of their chagiga. Vita kodesh baruch hu ala avodah zara. Kodesh baruch hu is mevatel everything except for of one thing. Bittul Torah. V'lachein therefore. Sidru b'krishma shalamita lekabel olav dalad mises beisin v'chulei. If you read the loshen, the text in Krishma Lamita, and if you don't have one, maybe go get one, or look in the Siddur. Art Scroll has it in English as well. You can look at it, what it tells you, how to makabel on yourself all the mitzvahs based on the things that you may have done that day. Milvad sha'al pisoy kol ha'poigim ba'os yud. If you're poigim the os yud shel shem havaya, kinu nischai b'skila. And if poigim ba'os hey, kinu nischai b'shreifa, or ba'os vav, kinu nischai b'hereg, or ba'os hey, yud kei vav kei. Achroina, Ki'ilu nischayev chenek. So all mitzvahs based on you did by doing the wrong things. V'hamavatal krishma poigim ba'os yud, tfena ba'os hey, tzitzis ba'os vav, tfena ba'os aleph. You can learn from there all the other averas. Once again, which means what the Heilige Baal Tanya wants you to do in our generation, when we can't fast and go through suffering and whatever it may be, is to at least krishma lamita. At least before you go to bed, make a cheshbon nefesh. Where am I holding? What did I do today? Did I mess up something? Maybe I should be more careful tomorrow. Whatever it is, you make yourself a cheshbon nefesh. That was number 2. If you remember, number 1 was to contemplate what you're doing when you do an avera, what you do to the Shekhinah, how terrible it is and what an embarrassment it is for the Shekhinah. Be'ez Hashem tomorrow, Perek Ches.